Hey y'all. So hopefully y'all are having a wonderful day. I know that this energy that we are in right now with this eclipse and everything going on, like it is huge, it is big. Um because I have been witnessing it firsthand, like within my heart chakra, within my crown chakra, just within external things as well. So within friendships, within work, within every little thing that you could possibly like claim or say, I've been experiencing it. And not to say it's to blame on the energy or anything, but I think it got a lot to do with it. But I can say that it has allowed for me to see some things that I needed to see. So the spread today is going to be a little different, but I just want to go over like some overall things that I've been picking up. Anytime that I tell you guys something, like I'm not one of those ones that are like, I'm going to go look up everything and see what everybody's saying about it. I'm just going to try to give you my spill on it, on my take on it, what I'm experiencing. And typically people who resonate with the channel, they are also going through the same thing. So that's kind of how I go about it. I don't look into like, you'll never hear me talk. Sometimes you may, but not all the time. But like sometimes you may hear me talk about like how it's affecting like certain houses, certain signs and things like that. But I like to go over different scenarios and different situations and how to handle them and how to work through them. And then hopefully it catches you at the right time to be beneficial to your life. That's kind of how I like to do my readings and everything, for whatever I may be guided to talk about. So I am very situational, I guess you could say. But what I want to talk on today is understanding like when to let friendships, relationships, workships, whatever like mutual agreement or contract that you want to talk about, like when to let things go. And that's what this read is going to be about today. The release, the like going with the flow a little bit more, the reciprocation, the like things like that, knowing when to let things go. And that is very, very heavy, I think, right now with what we're going through with this eclipse, is looking back and reflecting on things and understanding how something may be making you feel and what does that mean to you, and how do you move forward, how do you take and process everything that's going on around you, and what do you do moving forward? Like, what do you do? For some people, they just go with the flow and they just kind of let things happen. But in some cases and situations, you do need to make a decision in order to move forward and to get to where you need to go. You can't just go with the flow of just everything and anything. But yeah, so with the Strength card coming out, what crosses the Strength card? I am not seeing this as the Strength card. I am seeing this as like almost like being ripped apart in a sense, especially with the Ten of Swords crossing. So what I'm seeing right now is like sometimes we hold on to things that, we hold on to things because we may feel like we are obligated, or we may feel like we can't, like we just can't let it go. And sometimes that's just a karmic cycle that we're stuck in, but also we feel like we're meant to do good in those situations. Not to say that you aren't, but in what way does that have a bearing on your emotions, or on your in which way does that bring you misfortune, is what I'm getting. And I'm hearing that like sometimes we take on other people's things or other people's situations to make them feel better, but we plague ourselves. This is the House of God is the Tower with the Page of Wands coming out. So yeah, so the way I'm reading this today, guys, is really like allowing ourselves to look at that Truth card flipping out, but allowing ourselves to understand like what our truth really is and how to move forward, and how to not allow the world to rip us apart in a sense of tear us limb for limb, or wear us out thin, or how do we move through each cycle, still be ourselves and true to our character, moving with love and light, learning the lessons being true to who we are, but still do great things for other people. And sometimes I know it's really hard to balance that out, but also knowing that with every good that you do, I know sometimes, well, me personally, like sometimes I do things and I'm like, I'm doing this for the betterment of other people. And then sometimes I'll look back on it and be like, dang, like, was that worth it? Like, because sometimes, you know, how people may seem ungrateful, or people may seem like they don't value you, and you still have went, like, you bent head over heels to do something for that person or to be a great person. And they still like shit on you almost. Excuse my language, but that's what it is. They shit on you. And or you may feel like you do things and it's never good enough even. But I do know that with this energy, that's what this is about. This is about working through those emotions and understanding that sometimes we do things out of pity or out of love or out of this to help and benefit other people, but then we take away from our own will, our own moving forward, our own self, our own this, our own, like, we take away from our own cup versus giving them the overflow. We give them what we have, and that takes away from us. So yeah, because what I'm seeing right now is the Ace of Cups in the reverse. And it's like sometimes, like, we reap our own karma by doing that, or we reap karma by doing that, and that is our karma. Whether that means we took away from our whether we took away from, and this is with the Queen of Wands in reverse, is given that we took away from our own passions, we took away from the things that we found to be loving and caring for, and just offering it up to other people, which take away from us being able to create, us being able to move forward with our passions. And not to say that we become manipulative or anything like that, but we do vibrate lower, because we no longer are at our full charge, is what I'm hearing. But sometimes though, guys, it is really hard to get to this level as well, so do keep that in mind. But as you slowly take away from yourself, you do slowly de-elevate is the word that they're using. And with the Nine of Swords here in reverse, we sometimes also like put traumas on us, in the sense of, like, that could be like restlessness, headaches, fatigue, feeling nostalgic, being depressed, being tired. Like, you know, those are some symptoms that come in when dealing with these things. So if you have been experiencing those symptoms, then potentially that's why. Like, what around you, are you giving too much of yourself to other people and not getting that back in return? And it's not to say that you only do things to get something back in return, but there is a reciprocation that's needed there. Like, if I give you $10, I'm not saying that you got to give me $10 back, but be grateful. Like, be grateful. Show some type of happiness, some type of a smile even. Don't allow me to give you something and then you just like spit on me for doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what reciprocation can be to a lot of people, is like just giving back in some form or some fashion. And a lot of people don't understand that. They always think that it has to be the same to be given back, or for it to be reciprocated back properly. But also understanding too, though, that some things they happen to us. They don't happen to us, they happen for us, as well as what I heard when this came out. So, like, knowing that some lessons that we are put through, it shows us the character of people. It shows us who they are, what they believe in, like, you know, and that should be the reason for you to move a certain way, is what I'm being told. So for some of you, in certain situations, it's not to show you that, you know, someone is ungrateful, or it's not to like belittle you or make you feel like a certain way. It's to show you that that's something that you need to let go of. It's something that you need to take into consideration. Like, okay, you've learned a lesson. How do you move forward? You know, so looking at every situation from a different perspective is very heavy right now in this energy as well. Overall message. I just heard the fall time is beautiful, so I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but that's what they're telling me right now. See, and that's what I was talking about, like that release at the beginning of the read. This is actually the card that they showed me when I said release, but and then the fall time is beautiful. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, but this did come out in the reverse. I normally don't take these in reverse, but sometimes I do. But also like understanding like what harmony look like. How do you feel? And when you feel like things aren't flowing well, what does that look like? What's happening around you? What is it that you need to be stone hard about? What is it that you need to release? What is it that you can stand by and say like, no, like that, you know, that TikTok or whatever, like, that's my man, I'm gonna stand beside him. Yeah, but sometimes you gotta let your man go. So it's like understanding the difference between this harmony card being in the upright and in reverse, and understanding which way to take. This is giving me also Two of Pentacles vibe as well, knowing when to, like, what choice to make based upon how you feel. Three of Pentacles, so contracts and things of that nature, but also King of Cups with the, oh, that's not even a true pair. I thought it was, yeah. So with the King of Cups coming out, this could be somebody also playing on your emotions is what I just heard. So some of you may be emotionally manipulated in a lot of situations where like there's a figure here that ties to your emotions or can play on your emotions to get you to act a certain way or to agree to certain things or to move forward with them, you know, things of that nature. So just knowing that Page of Cups coming out, but just knowing that sometimes when people move that way, they're not going to apologize for getting what they want, because they're doing that to get what they want, not to see you win all the time. So knowing the difference, and for some of you, that's the lesson here, is knowing that people will always operate to use you against you because they know you in order to win, and they have no remorse about it. But I'm getting heavy off of this, like a manipulator of emotions with this being paired together. But yeah, so if this resonates with you, please let me know. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully you're learning what you need to learn in order to move forward. But like I said, I really do believe that this energy is really heavy on reflecting on when to let go of certain energies in your life that bring you that feeling of being, I don't want to use the word disharmony because I don't know if that's a word, but like just being in the energy of not being able to harmonize with yourself and with the things that are around you and feel as one. So when you feel like you are pulling apart from the one, what's changing? What's different? What's causing that feeling to happen? But yeah, like I said, like, share, and comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.